when people recorded their final words. Let's go.
지금 이 상황은 지금 기울어지고 있습니다. 으아, 나 되게 싫어. 아, 진짜 무도란 진짜 우리 나가야 돼요. 엄마한테 전화해볼까? 아, 기울어졌어. 엄마 사랑해요. 아빠 사랑해요. 둘 다 사랑해요.
On April 16th, 2014, the MV Seawol ferry left the city of Incheon for Jeju Island. On board were more than 470 people, including over 300 high school students on a school trip. But unlike every trip before it, this would be the Seawol's last.
That's a huge
Within
ship,
hours,
though.
the ferry would roll onto its side and slip into the Yellow Sea, taking hundreds with it.
코드 블루 레드. 이거 보이시죠? 지금 60도예요. 각도가 얘 앉아 있는 거 보이시죠? 얘는 지금 정자세로 앉아 있는데 이게 60도. 보이죠? 나 무섭다 진짜. 나 이거 어떡하냐. 나 무서워. 나 살고 싶.
The voyage started quietly at 9 p.m., but trouble came the next morning. The captain left the bridge and handed control to a junior officer. As the ship neared a channel with strong currents, the third mate switched from autopilot to manual steering without the captain present. The Seawol had been modified to carry extra cargo, making it unstable. The company ignored safety limits and overloaded it again when the
That sounds like a big lawsuit right there.
third mate turned, the heavy ship rolled to one side. Cargo slid, balance was lost, and the ferry began to sink as panic spread among passengers.
Do they not have lifeboats or something? Or what's going on? I don't understand.
아, 진짜 무도란 진짜 우리 나가야 돼요. 엄마한테 전화해볼까? 아, 기울어졌어. 진짜 침대는 약 떨리는 거 장난 아니야. 아, 내리고 싶어. 진짜 진심이야. 우리 뒤지기 싫다고. 아니, 뒤져도 걸 사서.
Only after the ferry began tilting and disaster was clearly unfolding did the captain finally return to the bridge. Assessing the situation
what?
and knowing the ship was inevitably going down, he called the Korea Coast Guard. Minutes after terrified students on board had already
Why wouldn't they have been called sooner? I don't even care if I think I can save the situation. I'm still calling the Coast Guard just in case.
done the same. He then gave one of the most controversial orders of the entire incident. Over the ferry's PA system, he told passengers to stay where they were, put on life jackets, and wait for help. Even as the Seawol kept
First thing I'm doing is trying to get outside. Because there's no way I'm being trapped in a sinking ship.
leaning and sinking deeper.
I don't care what the captain said.
더 기울어진다고? 장난? 이게 뭔 상황인지 모르겠어.
Life vest isn't gonna do anything when you're in a room full of water. Nowhere to go.
구명조끼 입으라는 건 침몰되고 있다는 소리 아니야?
10분 동안 여기서 버티랍니다. 이 개자식들 없애버리겠다.
야, 저기 그거 좀 열어줘. 구명조끼. 여기서 바로 하면 애들 다 났어. 구명조끼 닫았죠? 아, 좋아. 구명조끼 닫아줘.
17-year-old Park Soo-hyun was among the 325 students and 15 teachers from Danwon High School on board. His phone later revealed a video of classmates calmly waiting in life jackets, trusting rescue would come. Most students obeyed the captain's order to stay put, unaware it would seal their fate. A few ignored the command, climbed to the deck, and jumped into the sea, where fishing boats rescued them. But most
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'm living in that situation.
remained below, waiting for help that never arrived.
나 진짜 그런데 가판에 있던 애들은 어떻게 되는 거야? 그러니까 떨어졌을
And I
가능성이
hope the
높다니까.
captain
As
didn't make
time
it either.
passed and the ferry tilted further, sinking faster and faster, the students who had stayed behind waiting to be rescued began to realize how terrible that decision was.
나 울 것 같은데.
실망하고 영상 찍은 거야.
나 진짜 나 웁니다. 아씨 나 개무섭습니다 지금. 지금 나 이거 입고 있어요 지금. 나 무섭다고.
구조대 온다 했잖아.
아니 구조대가 오면 얼마나 위험한 상황이냐고요. 아니 지금 구조대 와도 300명을 어떻게 구합니까? 이거 어떻게 합니까 내가. 진짜 무섭고 난 지금 숨이 턱끝까지 차오르는데 이거 끈 꽉 묶었습니다. 저는 난 살고 싶습니다. 네, 마지막으로 진짜 나는 진짜 하고 싶은 게 많은데 진짜 나 무서워요 지금. 나 어떡해요? What can I do?
As the ferry sank, announcements kept urging passengers to stay put and wait for rescue. Then, in a shocking act of betrayal, the captain and several crew abandoned the ship, fleeing on rescue boats without ordering an evacuation. Left behind, trapped students began recording their final messages to their families.
살고 싶어요. 할머니 아빠 사랑하고 네 누나 참 많이 싸웠는데 참 고맙고 네 형 마지막으로 보고 싶었는데 형 못 보고 가네요. 네.
엄마 사랑해요. 아빠 사랑해요. 둘 다 사랑해요. 우리 김영현 씨 아들이 고맙니다. 이번 일로 죽을 수 있을 것 같으니.
The Coast Guard arrived about 40 minutes after the first distress calls, but the Sewol sank completely within 2.5 hours. Only those who ignored the captain's orders and escaped to the deck survived. Out of 476 people, 304 died, including 250 students and 11 teachers. 10 crew members and several rescuers also lost their lives. Early reports falsely claimed the rescue was successful, but when no survivors arrived, the truth emerged. Public outrage followed. The ferry company's leaders and crew were convicted. The Coast Guard was reorganized, and even government officials faced consequences. The video from Park Soo-hyun's phone, showing students calmly waiting for rescue, remains one of the most haunting reminders of the tragedy.
Really scared.
This was one of the last videos 24-year-old Amber Van Hecke recorded, messages for her family in case she didn't survive. On March 12, 2017, the college student set out alone for the Grand Canyon. A wrong GPS route led her onto a non-existent road, where she ran out of gas miles from help. With no signal and freezing nights ahead, she rationed food and water, using her car for shelter. She built help signs with rocks and duct tape and lit a signal fire, but no one saw her. Realizing she might not be found, Amber began calmly recording farewell messages, her final attempt to leave something behind.
I've rationed my water. I've wrote stuff on my back window. Help, out of gas and lost. A helicopter just flew by. I got out of my car and waved as frantically as I could, but I guess up there it's hard to notice small things on the ground. I want to leave, messages for you guys. But every time I think about it, I just start crying. I'm really scared.
She stayed with the car. It gave her shelter at night in the freezing desert cold, and it gave rescuers something big to spot. She rationed food. She rationed water. She conserved battery. She waited. 4 days. By day 4, she understood something ugly. No one was coming fast enough. Sitting still was starting to look like dying slow, so she made a decision. She wasn't just gonna hope to be found. She was going to try to save herself.
Pack all the water I can.
On day 5, Amber left her car and began hiking nearly 11 miles under the Arizona sun, trying 911 again and again. One 49-second call finally connected, enough for rescuers to trace her location. That afternoon, a rescue helicopter spotted her help sign near the car and, following her note, found her on the road, alive after 5 days lost in the desert. Rescuers later said she survived because she stayed calm, rationed her supplies, and did everything right.
She's crying. She had those tears of joy from, finally somebody came to save me.
Remarkably, she suffered no serious injuries. After rehydration and a good meal, Amber felt well enough to continue her Grand Canyon sightseeing the very next day. In the weeks that followed, she returned home to Texas.
I guess it's not something that would happen every single time, but I would literally not want to do that shit again.
And reunited with her relieved family.
Did you think that you might die and that your loved ones would see this diary? That's all they'd have left?
That's actually exactly why I made it. I made that in a written journal, so if they did find my body and not me, my family and friends would have something that would help them not feel guilty. because I wouldn't want anyone taking the blame for my mistakes.
Financially, the incident wasn't cheap. The helicopter rescue and medical care came with a bill. Amber set up a GoFundMe to cover those costs with a modest goal of $1,200. Support poured in. Within 2 days, she had raised over $2,200. She could have been another statistic, a lost traveler in the desert. Instead, Amber Van Heck's quick thinking saved her life and turned a potential tragedy into a survival story. What you just watched is real footage. 2 cameras capturing skydiving instructor Michael Holmes plunging from 15,000 feet as both his main and reserve parachutes failed. 25-year-old Michael Holmes was a British skydiving instructor from Jersey in the Channel Islands. He'd logged more than 7,000 jumps and was, by any standard, a professional. He left the UK to pursue his passion in New Zealand, working as a tandem instructor and freefall cameraman over Lake Taupo. He'd done it for years without incident until December 13th, 2006. That day, like any other workday, Holmes boarded a plane with his friend Jonathan King. The plan, a standard high-altitude jump from 15,000 feet while filming the dive.
Perfect jump.
His friend Jonathan King deployed safely, but seconds after Holmes deployed his main parachute, something went horribly wrong. His canopy tangled, twisting violently. He cut away the main and pulled the reserve, but it didn't inflate. At just a few hundred feet above the ground, Holmes whispered one final word into his camera. Bye. It was meant for his family, his friends, anyone who might later see the footage. Then, impact.
Damn, man.
Bye. Take it easy. You breathing, man? Yeah. Can you talk to me, bro? Talk to me, man. How's it? You okay? No.
Miraculously, Holmes slammed into a dense blackberry thicket. The thorns shredded his body, but they also saved his life, absorbing enough of the impact to keep him alive. Holmes suffered a punctured lung, broken ribs, and a shattered ankle. He spent 11 days in the hospital, and within months he returned to the skies, continuing to jump after
That's even worse than the last one. I couldn't even think of going skydiving right now. Why would I risk my life for some stupid shit like that? You know?
surviving a fall that should have killed him.
Bu size son videom. Öldüm yanlış değilsem. Ayağımın üstünde yaklaşık 500 kilo var.
This is 17-year-old high school student Taha Erdem. He's trapped under the rubbles of what used to be his home, and he's running out of time. If he isn't rescued soon, it may be too late.
What?
At 4:17 a.m. on February 6, 2023, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake tore through southern Turkey in the city of Adıyaman, where Taha lived with his parents and two younger siblings. The quake pancaked their four-story.
Dude, I couldn't even imagine being in there. Imagine being in your home.
Building to the ground, trapping the entire family. Separated from his family, bleeding and unable to move, Taha lay in darkness as screams echoed around him. Believing the end was near, he turned on his phone camera and started to whisper a prayer.
Bu size son videom. Öldüm yanlış değilsem. Ayağımın üstünde yaklaşık 500 kilo var. Sol ayağım sağ ayağım gitti. Kafamı da yani şuradan çıkartırken yara almış olabilirim.
It wasn't live streamed, it was recorded and later shared by rescuers. But in that moment, it was Taha's way of leaving something behind. For nearly 2 hours, Taha lay trapped beneath concrete and dust. Rescue workers finally pulled him free, alive. Hours later, his parent and siblings were also found and saved. In a disaster that killed tens of thousands across Turkey and Syria, Taha and his family were given a second chance.
Hey everybody.
You know how lucky you have to be?
That's all I can really say.
About 50 feet down in the ravine. Just want to say I love you guys. Mom, Dad, love you. Courtney, love you.
This is 41-year-old Kevin Diepenbrock. He's lying in a ravine nearly 100 feet below the highway. His friend is dead beside him. Kevin, however, is alive, but barely, slowly dying by the second. It began on October 15th, 2016. Kevin and his friend Philip Polito rode their motorcycles on a dangerous road known as the Dragon, famous for its sharp curves. When Philip braked suddenly, Kevin crashed into him and both flew off the road. Philip died instantly. Kevin broke ribs, punctured a lung and couldn't move. Trapped and in pain, he pulled out his phone and recorded goodbye messages, believing he wouldn't survive.
Hey everybody. That's all I can really say. About 10:30 this morning. Been laying here ever since. About 50 feet down in the ravine. I think I got a broke sternum, ribs, maybe back. Just want to say I love you guys. Sorry, I was being stupid, but you know that's what I do. Mom, Dad, love you. Courtney, love you. Kurt and Marnie, Karen, Matt, love you guys. Take care. See you soon.
For nearly 30 hours, Kevin drifted in and out of consciousness, yelling when he could. Night fell, temperatures dropped, still no rescue.
Hey.
Do people like just
7
not
o'clock.
see the motorcycles on the side of the road?
Got using my flashlight to wave somebody down. I think I moved. I think I tried getting up. I think I passed out. Definitely punctured some lungs. Love you guys. Man, I could use a drink of water. They're just like 50 feet away. All right. Love you. Love you, Courtney. Love you, Mom, Dad.
Wait, so these get no service, or what is he using?
The next afternoon, passing motorcyclists heard Kevin's faint cries. One rider climbed down, found Kevin.
How on a motorcycle? I don't even know. He gotta have super hearing or
Broken
something.
but alive, and called for help. Emergency crews rigged a rope system to haul Kevin out. He was airlifted by helicopter to the medical center in critical condition. Against the odds, he survived. Kevin later reunited with his wife, Courtney, and their children in Pennsylvania. His recovery was long, but he lived, and those last messages he recorded in the ravine became something else. Not goodbyes, but proof of how close he came to never coming home.
This is the first time I've actually cried. Just think of all of you guys, my friends and my family, and I would do anything to see you guys.
This is Claire Nelson. She's 36 years old. Alone in Joshua Tree National Park, lying in desert heat over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. After falling from a 25-foot boulder, her pelvis is shattered. She can't move, and no one knows she's missing. In May 2018, while hiking alone, Claire slipped while climbing and crashed onto the desert floor. With no cell signal and temperatures over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, she was trapped and fighting to survive.
This is not where I expected to end up. The shattered pelvis. In the desert. I might die here, and I'm really scared that that's the case, and I don't know what to do. I can't get a signal out here, and I call for help, and no one's out here. This is the stupidest thing I've ever done. I can't move. I tried to roll myself over into that little shady alcove. I almost got there. As soon as I managed to kind of lever my pelvis over, you hear this click, 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 crunch, 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 and then the noise that came out of me, I swear to God. And then of course I had to roll back over, and I nearly passed out. And I don't want to pass out in the sun or ever, and I'll wake up again. It was quite a fight with the heat today. I'm not letting it win. But boy, oh boy, I don't want to have to do that again tomorrow. Please. There are some bats flying flying around up here in the rocks. I'm hoping they're not bitey bats and that they have no interest in me.
Then it got worse. She ran out of water. She baked under the brutal sun and had to survive however she could.
My makeshift umbrella.
Yep. Drink your
This is
own.
basically me for the next 6 hours now that the sun's coming over me. And legs covered. It's very, very hot. It's water that I'm worried about. It's drink. So what, 3 days you can go without? Probably less in the desert. Maybe 1 day. If I go through one more hot day like this, I'm a goner. I've got no more resources. My kidneys hurt. I'm dehydrated. You know, this is the colour of what I'm drinking. It just kind of says it all, really.
Back in town, friends grew worried when she missed plans and raised the alarm. On May 25th, search teams spread across the desert. Late that afternoon, they spotted her, 2 miles off trail, alive but badly injured just as Claire was about to give up.
In this crazy heat, I keep thinking I'm hearing a helicopter. At one point I thought I heard an ambulance in the distance, but it was all in my head. It's not fair. When is someone going to come looking for me? I just think of all of you guys, my friends and my family, and I would do anything to see you guys. I don't want to be here. I really don't want to be here.
She was airlifted to a hospital. Against the odds, she survived. Today, her story stands as both a warning and an inspiration for anyone who dares to hike alone in the wilderness. Thank you for watching.
Something I would also never do. This video should be titled Things You Should Probably Never Do. Honestly. Couldn't pay me to stay inside a boat that's sinking with water flooding in as much as I hate it. Dude! Oh my god. I would definitely take my chances on the top of the water instead of a trap. Yes, dude. Oh my god. Dude, that's... It's sad how many high school students died that day, especially when the teens were pleading that they would live the whole time the ship was sinking. Telling them to stay on the boat while it sinks is like telling kids at school to crowd in a corner and not leave when there's a school shooter. Always tell someone if you can where you are going, especially hiking alone. Nah, you gotta make sure, like, you gotta be like, all right, I know I'm gonna be in contact with you every single time I can. And if I'm not, then something's wrong. I don't know. You gotta have a better plan, especially when you're hiking alone. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.